You know that feeling, right? You're sure you knew the answer, but you just didn't get full marks. Well, in this explainer, we're going to crack the code on exactly why that happens. We are diving deep into the mark scheme, the secret blueprint that shows you how examiners award every single point.
So, what really happens after you hand that paper in? Well, it's not some big mystery. It's actually a superstructured process, and it's all designed to be as fair as possible. And the key to it all is knowing the rules. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the single most important document for any exam you'll take, the mark scheme. And I promise, by the end of this, you won't just understand what the examiners are looking for, you'll know exactly how to give it to them. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the examiner's rulebook. Then, we'll decode the special language they use. We'll see it all in action with a real question, uncover some hidden rules that could save you a ton of marks, and finally, show you how to turn all this into your new secret weapon for revision. Okay, let's dive right in. Before we can really get the mark scheme, you got to understand the rules that every single examiner has to follow. Think of it like their constitution. These are the non-negotiable principles of marking. The whole system is really built on two huge ideas: fairness and consistency. But, and this is the crucial part, examiners are trained to look for what you know, not to punish you for what you don't. They're actually trying to find ways to give you marks. Now this is where it gets really interesting. Mark schemes have their own secret language, like a kind of shorthand. It might look a bit cryptic at first, but trust me, once you crack this code, you'll unlock a whole new way of looking at your exams. Okay, so here are some of the most common codes you're going to see. Now, don't worry about memorizing all of this right now. We're just going to focus on the big ones, the ones that make the most difference. And for now, that means zooming in on method and accuracy marks. This one is absolutely massive. An M mark means you get points just for showing you know the right steps to take, even if a tiny calculation mistake means your final answer is wrong. You know how all your teachers are always saying, show you're working? Well, this is why. It's where you pick up these essential points. And the accuracy mark, or A mark, follows right on from that. You can only get points for having the correct answer if you've already shown a correct method. They're a team. You can't just slap a number down and hope for the best. You have to prove you know how you got there. Okay, so that's the theory. Let's see how this all works in practice. We're going to break down a real exam question, 12A, which is a classic compound interest problem, and see exactly where and how every single mark is awarded. And there it is, the magic number, the final correct answer that gets you full marks. But remember, that number is just the destination. The real question is, how do you make sure you get all the possible points on the journey to get here? And this shows that journey perfectly. Look at that. 2 method marks and 1 accuracy mark. You get that first method mark, an M1, just for showing the right calculation for the first year. Bam! Then you get a second M1 for showing the complete method for all 3 years. It's only after that, when you have those method marks locked in, that you get the A1 for the correct final answer. See? Every step is a chance to score. And here's another brilliant little insight into how fair the system is. The mark scheme often allows for a small range of answers. It knows that different people might round their numbers at different points, and you shouldn't be penalized for those tiny little variations. And the level of detail is just incredible. Get this, a special case mark. This means the examiners have actually predicted common mistakes that students might make. So if you make a specific, understandable error, there's often a built-in plan to still give you a mark. It's like a safety net. So, we've covered M&A marks, but there are a few other, kind of hidden rules that are just as important. These are the principles that make sure everything stays fair, especially when questions get a bit more complicated. This follow-through rule is a total game changer. It means if you make a mistake early on in a question, you won't get penalized again and again for it. As long as you use your wrong answer correctly in the next parts of the question, you can still get all the later method marks. It's amazing! Then you have ISW, or ignore subsequent working. Now this one's a bit subtle, but so important. Let's say you get the right answer, then you do some extra work that's wrong, but doesn't really affect things. The examiner can just ignore it. But if that extra working makes your answer fundamentally wrong, like you simplify something with bad algebra, then you'll lose the mark. It's all about whether your extra step breaks the correct answer you already had. Okay, so now you know the rules of the game. The really big question is, how do you use all this to your advantage? How do you turn the mark scheme into your new revision secret weapon? Let's just go back to this fundamental idea for a second. The mark scheme is designed to give you points, not take them away. So your job, as a student, is to make it as easy as possible for the examiner to give you those points.
So here's your new strategy. The next time you do a past paper, don't just look at the final answer. Get the full mark scheme and mark your own paper. Be tough. Ask yourself, did I earn the method mark there? Was my working clear? When you start doing this, you're literally training your brain to think like an examiner. You'll automatically start writing down exactly what they need to see.
So that's our deep dive into the mark scheme. Hopefully you can see it's not some scary, secret document. It's a roadmap. It's a guide to getting the marks you deserve. The tool is right there for you to use. The only question left is, how will you use it?